Hi everybody, welcome to Yoga Moments. I'm Janice and I'm not sitting today because we have our first standing flow. So I have a chair. I might use it as a prop. I will definitely use it to show people if they do need it. So grab a chair if you think you'll need one. And we're going to come to the top of our mats. So when we get there, we're going to find that standing alignment with our head over our heart, heart over our pelvis. We'll close our eyes, check in with your feet. See if you can press into all four corners. Maybe you lift your toes and draw up from the kneecaps and then really take it inside here. So lift up from your pelvic floor, lift your navel in and up towards the spine, and we'll bring our hands to our heart. Lift your sternum up towards your thumbs. And check in with your breath here. So if you're holding your breath, see if you can soften, see if you can find some ease. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale, bend our knees, sweep our arms nice and wide. Maybe we look up, reach up nice and tall, draw your shoulders away from your ears, and we're going to exhale, bring it all the way down. So this is the part where if you can go to the floor, great. Bend your knees, bring your tummy to your thighs. If you would like a chair, we'll bring a chair in front of us, and we'll bend our knees, bring our tummy to our thighs, and just use the chair a little bit for our forearms to support us. You can bring your head to it as well. Wherever you are, breathe into your back body here. So see if you can find a little space, create a little room. And if you want, you can always take it a little bit to the left or to the right, wherever you are. See if you can let your head hang heavy. And take time here. So really explore, see what is speaking loudest to you. And then see what maybe is the second loudest thing. So if your hamstrings are tight or, your feet, just see where you can create a little bit of space. On an inhale, we're going to come up halfway. So into a halfway lift, or a flat back position. So my knees are slightly bent here, just a little bit. I'm really going to draw my tailbone back behind me, and I'm going to reach the crown of my head forward towards the chair. I'm going to lift up my elbows, bring my shoulder blades together, and really draw this front body. So navel's drawing in and up, heart space is coming up between the shoulder blades. Breathe here. Exhale, take it all the way down, or back to the chair. Inhale. We're going to sweep wide, nice and wide. Come all the way up, drop those shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, bring our hands to our heart. So a little flow, something that we'll get familiar with here. We're going to do it a couple more times. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, forward fold, take it all the way down or down to the chair. So if you're at the chair, bring your forearms down. We're going to inhale, halfway lift. So if I'm going to halfway lift from here, my hands come back. I'm going to draw my elbows back towards my hips, maybe even lift up here. So really drawing the navel in and up. Gaze is down. We're going to exhale, come all the way back. And then inhale, press into the feet, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. So this is really great to use the chair if you don't want your head below your heart. If you have trouble with that, if it makes you feel dizzy, or you just don't feel supported or secure there, this is a great option for you so that you still can get the benefits. So one more time, inhale, sweep all the way up. Find what works for you here. Exhale all the way down. Up the chair out just a little bit. Press into all four corners of your feet. Draw up from the arches. Inhale, halfway lift. Big, beautiful breath. Inhale, nice and long through the spine. Reach the tailbone back, almost like someone's grabbing your hips and pulling you backwards. Lift the elbows up. Exhale, lower down. Keep breathing here. Inhale, press all the way up, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. So beautiful. A little bit of a warm up to get the body moving. From here, we're going to inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, and with my right foot, I'm going to take one step backwards. So take a step back that you are comfortable with, and right away, as soon as I step back, I'm going to pivot on my back foot, my right foot, and plant my heel behind me. So we're coming into a warrior two here, and again, yoga is for everyone. It's based on the sensation going on inside. So whether or not your outside looks the way you think it should, or the way you would like it to, don't worry. We're here for the practice, we're here for the journey, and we're working from the inside out. So bring your left knee over top of your left ankle. If you have to adjust your stance, go for it. Turn your right toes in and towards the front right corner of your mat. And if you want a longer stance, step it out a little bit. So find somewhere where you're comfortable working, whether you're stretching a little bit or just getting a feel for it. And I'm going to press into all four corners of both feet. I'm going to lift up from the arches, so that's going to give me a little bit of support in through my quads and my hips. I'm going to stack my shoulders over top of my hips. I'm going to reach out with both hands, so my hips are nice and open here. I'm squeezing my sit bones together. I'm going to take a little bit more of a wider step here. And I'm going to draw my shoulder blades together here, so really opening through those hips. Breathe here. Press into all four corners, see if you can soften somewhere. So if you're holding tension, see if you can find some ease, some softness. And then check it out. We're going to come into triangle pose or Trikonasana, but if you aren't comfortable tipping all the way forward with a straight leg, what you're going to do, first option, bring your left elbow to your left knee. And then bring your right hand across your chest. So we're lifting up from all four sides of the torso. Spiraling our heart open. That's option one. Option two is if you're in warrior two, we're going to straighten our front leg, bump our left hip crease up and back. And then it's almost as though someone's pulling our left hand forward and kind of like pivoting us right here at our hip. We're going to reach forward, forward, forward until we start to pivot just a bit. And we're going to come into triangle pose. So really drawing that left hip crease up and back. Reaching up towards the sky. Everybody lift up from your torso, all four sides. Full body experience here. Breathe deep. And on your next inhale, we're going to come back into warrior two. So bend your front knee if you were in triangle pose. And then on your next exhale, we're going to drop our right hand down, come all the way up, step it up. Look up, draw your shoulders away from your ears and lift your heart. Really reach up for that sky. Create some space. We're going to exhale, take it all the way down to the ground. So feet can be hip width apart here. If you prefer taking it to the chair, take it to the chair. We're going to inhale, come into a halfway lift. So wherever you are, lift that front body up towards the back body. Maybe you smile here, gazes down, long spine, and then exhale all the way down. And inhale, bring it up. So lift up all that grounded energy you've got, and we'll exhale, hands to our heart. All right, let's take it to the other side. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up. And on an exhale, we're going to step the left foot back. And right away, we're going to pivot on the back of our foot onto our left foot. And take a second, walk out your stance if you want to. Maybe you bring it in a little bit. So it's a full body experience. And again, we set our foundations first. So that gives us that support to keep going and to push our limits a little bit, because when you have a solid foundation, that becomes a lot easier. And why not make it easy? That's the best part. So front knee over front ankle and reaching through our arches, drawing them up, pressing into all four corners, shoulders over the hips, and then you let your tailbone be a little heavy and squeeze those sit bones together. Really reach back with the pinkies. And energetically, see if you can really create some space, so extending beyond even your fingertips. Breathe here. Lift up from your pelvic floor. Shoulders away from the ears. Breathe. See if you can sink a little lower. And then option here to come into extended side angle. Right elbow comes to the right knee. And you're going to reach up. You can always open up this way. It kind of plugs your shoulder right into your shoulder blade, your upper arm. Or from Warrior Two, wherever you're at, you can straighten your right knee and then really lengthen up through the inner thigh here. So you're drawing your hip crease up and back. And then it's like somebody's pulling you forward. We're going to reach, reach, reach until we pivot, coming into triangle pose. And again, if you want, you can always open up this way. Breathe here. Lift that right hip crease up and back. Press into all four corners. See if you can find something new. One more big breath in. Draw your shoulders away from your ears, everybody. All right. Inhale. Bend the front knee if you haven't already. Come up into Warrior Two. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then on an exhale, we drop our left hand, come all the way up, and exhale, we're going to take it all the way down. I'm going to use the chair this time. You pick your choice, what works best for you. So all the way down, exhale here. Big breath in, find some new space in your back. And then on an inhale, we'll halfway lift. So front body all the way up towards the back body here. If you're in the chair posture, maybe your hands are on the chair. Maybe you lift your elbows up. Your hands can come to your thighs. And then exhale all the way down. So if you're on the chair, bring your hands back to the chair. Inhale, we're going to come all the way up. Press, press, press down. Reach up and exhale, hands to heart. So a little more motion with this one, with the standing flows. So check in and just see how you're feeling. There's no rush. There's a lot going on, especially if you're new to this. So don't worry if you're like, but I'm not sure my feet were perfect or my shoulders were perfect. Don't worry about it. You're doing awesome. You've already shown up. The rest is just taking what you need in bite-sized pieces so that we can handle it. Alrighty. I'm going to inhale, bend my knees, sweep my arms up. I'm going to step my left foot back and I'm going to turn and pivot so that I can widen my stance here on my mat. You can bring your hands down to your hips if that's comfortable to you. And I'm going to walk my feet out so that they're comfortable for me, no further than my wrists. And I'm going to pigeon hole my feet here. So I'm going to turn them in. From here, I'm going to press into all four corners of my feet. We're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. I'm going to leave the chair here just because it's going to block the view and I don't really know if I can show you exactly what's going on, but I will coach it to you, so don't you worry. We're going to find that lift from within. So front body draws in towards the back body, navel lifts up, heart lifts, and with my hands on my hips, I'm going to come into a forward fold here. So I'm really leading with my heart. I'm not just, rolling down, but really taking my gaze out as far as I can. And once I get parallel to the ground, I'm going to bring my hands down. If you're on your chair, you can be nice and soft on your chair. Forearms might come to the chair. And I'm going to breathe. So if you can go further, if you've got a little more range of motion here, you can bring your hands down and slowly walk them back. Either way, let your head hang heavy. Press into all four corners of your feet. Draw your sit bones together. Especially if you're using the chair, draw your navel in and up. So if you, here, I'll grab the chair for a second. I got you guys. We'll turn this way. So especially if you're using the chair, try not to collapse all your weight into your shoulders, but really bring your heart down and draw your navel in and up. So creating that nice long spine even here. It's almost like we've been practicing this, guys. Breathe deep. So nice long breaths. Squeeze your sit bones together, nice long stretch in the backs of the legs and the inner thighs. And then when you're ready, we'll walk it out till our hands come underneath our shoulders. Really draw that heart up between your shoulder blades, navel in towards the spine. We're going to bring our hands to our hips. Inhale. Lift up, front body all the way to the back body. You guys are doing awesome. I'm going to heel toe in a little bit. And I'm going to turn my toes out this time. So I still have a stance that's wider than my hips. And we're going to work on trusting ourselves here because it's easy to look down and then we bump our hips backwards. But what we want to do is turn our toes out and see if we can keep a nice straight back. So like we're leaning against a wall. We're going to exhale from our center, so that navel that you're drawing in and up, we're going to lower down. So knees are going to come out. They're going to stay nice and wide over top of the feet. Breathe here. Press into all four corners of your feet and draw up from those arches. So when you press down, you actually come up just a little bit, and you can see I'm already starting to come forward. So we're going to bring our shoulders back, bring our heart space back. Lower down, working the quads here. You can even bring your hands to them. Or you can keep your hands on your hips if you want. Take a little mudra. Maybe you bring your index finger to your thumb. Lower down a little bit. Inhale, press up. One more time. And honestly, if you don't have a ton of range of motion right now, that's totally cool. You're still going to come and lower down a little bit. So whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe this is lots. And if it is, I applaud you because not everyone is brave enough to try it. So if you're doing this, you're doing awesome. Super proud. I'm super inspired. And I encourage you to just shoot for the moon here. Obviously, go by how you feel. So wherever you are, we'll do one more. Find your nice straight back and then exhale, lower down. So breathe here. Maybe smile. Open those hips. And then inhale, come all the way up. Beautiful. Almost there, guys. You got this. We're going to heel toe all the way in. I'm going to bring my big toes together and I'm going to leave a thumb print kind of between my heels. So nice little space about that big. And also you're doing great. So we're going to inhale, bend our knees, sweep our hands up nice and tall, draw our shoulders away from our ears again. And right here, we're going to let our hips go out behind us this time. So all that work to keep them in. Now we're going to let them go out. We're going to come down into chair pose. So hips come out behind us. Your weight's going to shift back into your heels. Front body lifts up. I'll turn to the side here so you can see. Front body lifting up. Drop your hips back. Creating these kind of opposing forces. So heavy in the hips, reaching up with the heart. Breathe here. And again, if you're only here, rock on. You're doing fabulous. On an inhale, we'll press all the way up. Bring your hands down to our sides and just notice how you feel. So if you've been doing a lot of chair yoga, this is definitely a big step. If you're feeling a little tired, you can shake it out. You can have a seat, take a rest. If you've got one more chair in you, the irony of doing the standing sequence and then ending in chair pose is just so sweet. So inhale, one more chair pose. If you want to take a seat, please do so. We're going to exhale, hips come out behind us, lower down. And heart lifts, so take your gaze straight out. Bring your shoulder blades together, draw your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe here, really working the quads today. Working the core. See if you can go a little lower. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands down to your side. Give yourself a good shake out. Anywhere you're feeling it. We're going to inhale, bring our hands to our heart, and just check in here. So for all your hard work, I hope you feel really proud of yourself today. If this is new to you, you're doing awesome. If you have questions below, Post them below if you have questions or comments. You can always come back to this video. And if you do, I know that slowly you'll progress kind of deeper into all the postures. You'll build strength. You'll feel good. And from my heart to yours, thank you so much for sharing this moment with me, for inviting me in, and for taking care of yourself, because I think that's kind of the most beautiful foundation we could ever set for ourselves or for anyone around us, is to really put in, get centered, and then move from that place of centeredness. So from my heart to yours, namaste.